Back when KATO announced they were stepping into 009 and releasing a model of Prince and Princess, I feel like most people had the same idea, one of three things. 1. That'd be cool for a Festiniog type railway. 2. That's gonna be expensive as shit. 3. It's Duke time, baby. And would you believe all three ended up being right? It is perfect for a 009 Welsh-styled railway, definitely expensive, and I've seen so many people make Duke models with this already. Those are all pretty obvious though, and I don't want that to be the focus of this video. More because of those things, there was a lot of hype behind this engine, and now that one's finally come into my collection, I want to see if it lives up to that hype. We'll worry about customization and all of that stuff later. Instead, I want to look at the model itself, since $200 is not a cheap price, and I really want to see if this price is justified. Is it worth investing in this small England, or perhaps doing the normal way, buying a shell from Shapeways and using a Percy chassis? Well, let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And today, all thanks to the homie Bass Tebow Music, we have the Small England Princess, recently made by KATO, as well as two coaches that I'm going to get to go behind her, I guess. The roof of this one came off, but we'll worry about that later. So, like I said, this is a KATO release. I guess they're doing 009 now, and when this did release alongside the Prince model, everybody thought the same thing. Yeah, it's Duke time. Or maybe you're modeling the Festiniog, whatever. Either way, this was a pretty hyped up model. And I have to say, this packaging is honestly pretty nice. And what's funny about that is, if you remember when these first released, there was a problem with the packaging. Yeah, apparently most people who ordered them got a broken model because they did not reinforce it well at all. Thankfully, the homie, he looked out for me, so this has added bubble wrap, so this one's good. The box has this brick detailing here, does not continue to the bottom. That's where we'll find another logo telling you that it's the Princess, the KATO thing, the 009 logo, but there's also some track right here, right under the Festiniog and Welsh, I guess, sign or logo there, and the back is pretty boring. We have the Pecco logo, the KATO logo, the boring shit that nobody reads. Yeah, it's a pretty nice looking box, not gonna lie. It would definitely catch my eye if I was in a model store. Definitely more unique than the normal plastic transparent box that most in-scale engines come in. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this dude open. Maybe we'll try this side. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this dude open. That didn't happen. Oh, wow. That was a shitty whistle, but this is a beautiful model. Jesus Christ. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Princess. Definitely one of the more high-end 009 or in-scale models I've ever seen. That is a shit ton of detail on a very small train. Like I said before, I want to keep this video straightforward and to a single point. Is this locomotive worth investing in? So, let's start with what you get. Not only do you get the locomotive, but several different whistles you can choose from to apply to the locomotive itself. Directly under those are more normal in-scale couplings instead of 009 ones. If you feel like this detail pack is lacking, don't worry, because all of that is already on the engine. The whistle is likely separate due to that sitting on top of the cab. This would probably interfere with the box. For as much detail as this thing has, I'm surprised there weren't any pieces just floating around in it. It really seems like KATO has learned from their mistakes, however, and packed this thing very well and made it very sturdy. It is very transportable. At least on my model, everything from the brake pipes to the handrails were pristine, which did at first worry me because of shipping. It seems, however, this thing took whatever FedEx threw at it with glee, and it arrived to me in a very good condition. Thankfully, the only parts I have to attach are the parts I'm supposed to attach. And with that out of the way, let's just talk about aesthetics. This model is beautiful. I seriously was not exaggerating earlier. This is probably the most detailed 009 model I have ever seen. Every bit of lining, every rivet, every detail on this model is exquisite. You really can tell KATO took their time getting every single detail of the actual Princess engine into this model. And it certainly paid off. Just take a look at this crest, every decal on this thing, it's all so intentional. Like, if you're running this at a train show, nobody is going to notice the interior cab detail or these build plates, let alone be able to read them, but did they add them? You're damn right they did. I'm talking fingernail-sized buffer beam decals, detailed porthole windows, a detailed cab, separately fitted handrails, a tender with pickups that's attached to to the locomotive itself, I know some people don't like this, I personally don't mind. A chassis that's actually accurate, and proportions that look pretty damn exact to the actual model. At first I could have swore the tender was too small, but it seems after some closer looking, it's pretty exact too. The only issue I have with this model lays not with the tender, but inside of it. All that detail, all that hype for this to be the Cole tender load? Seriously? You hired a mouse to apply your builder plate decals, but it gave...
Well, I don't know what I expected.
That much detail, and you give me this as a Cole load? I don't know, to me it just feels a little fucked up, but I'll let it slide this time. Only because I'd rather spend 30 seconds fixing that than 30 hours doing literally any other detail this model has. And for that to be the only thing that kinda irks me about this model is pretty damn good. Let's be fair, most model train companies don't make good Cole loads, so that's pretty excusable. And for that to be the only thing lacking in realism or accuracy is a testament to what you're buying in this model. You can tell a lot of effort went into making this model, and that's really what you're paying for. If you buy this model, you're basically buying a miniature replica of the actual Princess engine. So far we've seen that this thing is very detailed, but that's not what necessarily makes or breaks a model. Right beside detail is performance, so how does this thing perform? Well, instead of me explaining it, how about I just show you?
Wait, this might not end well. Oh, nope. Nope. That still could have ended worse.
So, is the Princess model worth the hype? I have to say very much so, yes. Detail-wise, performance-wise, it's hard to think of anything that's rivaling this right now. Price-wise, is this thing actually worth $200 to $300? And in my opinion, again, I have to say yes. Not only does this thing perform very well, but looks amazingly while it does it. Like I said, you're basically buying a miniature princess. And 3, is my brake coach backwards? Yeah, it is. It has been this whole time. Great, awesome, that's cool. Will I turn this thing into Duke? Honestly, I don't know. It feels kinda wrong to mess with this much detail. What I do know is my 009 collection has never been so stylish. And if this says anything for what's to come, I'm excited for what KATO has planned for the future. Now subscribe, pussy. You won't do it.
To the 3, I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a